हेलो बच्चों, वेलकम वंस अगेन स्टूडेंट्स टू माय केमिस्ट्री चैनल अमेजिंग केमिस्ट्री क्लासेस. आई एम योर chemistry teacher Dr. Rohit. Welcome you once again to my channel. Let's start with the topic. This is the part 2 for the solution chapter of class 12th. Today we are going to discuss about the solubility, about various factors which affects the solubility of a solute in a solvent, and various parameters. What is crystallization, what is dissolution, what is saturated solution, what is unsaturated solutions, and what are the different factors which affect the solubility. So let's start with the topic, that is solubility. Solubility कहते किसको है? What is the, why we use the term solubility? So देख लेते हैं क्या लिखा है. Solubility of a substance is its maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specific amount of a solvent under specific condition. जब किसी भी हम सॉल्यूट को या सॉल्वेंट में डिजॉल्व करते हैं, एक स्पेसिफिक कंडीशन होती है जिसमें हम सॉल्वेंट में उस पर्टिकुलर सॉलिड को डिजॉल्व करते हैं. तो वही लिखा हुआ है इसमें, that solubility of a substance is its maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specific amount of a solvent. So at a particular specific amount of a solvent, when we dissolve a solute of specific quantity under specific conditions. Generally these are the few terms which we have to remember while showing the dissolution part. First is the nature of the solute, second is nature of the solvent, third is the temperature, and the fourth one is the pressure. Okay, now first discuss about the solubility of a solid in a liquid. So solid are soluble in liquid if their intermolecular interaction are similar. Okay, so this is the important point, that solids are soluble in liquid if the intermolecular interaction are similar. So the terms related to solubility of a solid in a liquid is, first is your dissolution. Dissolution को हम कैसे define करते हैं? When solid and solute, when solid solute is added to the solvent, some solute get dissolved and its concentration increases in the solution. This process is known as dissolution. Suppose we add salt in a solvent, that is your water, and we dissolved it. What happened? Initially some amount get dissolved, so the concentration of salt in water get increased. So this is known as dissolution. Now what is crystallization? When some solute particle in a solution combine with each other and get separated out. What happened? Sometimes you have seen that initially whatever solute you dissolved in a solution, it get dissolved, but after a period of time what happened? It crystallizes out. Solid comes out of the solution from the clear solution. So that process is known as crystallization. Okay. Now the third one is dynamic equilibrium. It is the condition when number of solute particles going into the solution is equal to solute particles separating out. So that is the dissolution and the crystallization process is occurring at the same rate. So when what happen, when there is a equilibrium between the dissolution and the crystallization process, is known as dynamic equilibrium. Here I have shown solute plus solvent, then this is your equilibrium symbol is equal to solution. Now coming on to the next topic, that is what is saturated solution. अभी क्या होता है, जब भी हम लोग एक ग्लास फुल ऑफ वाटर लेंगे, उसमें कुछ भी सॉल्ट डिसॉल्व करेंगे, what happen after a period of time at room temperature, solid does not get dissolved in the water solution. So that is a saturated solution. But what happen again, if you heat that solution and further you add salt, it get dissolved. So saturated solution at particular temperature we have to define. Okay, so how we can define the saturated solution? The process of dissolution continues until the solution attain a certain maximum concentration. Such a solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at same temperature and pressure. This is very important to mention, that at the same temperature and pressure, so that further addition of a solute which does not get dissolved, that concentration of solution is known as saturated solution. So solute plus solvent and dissolution is known as solution. Okay, so that part is known as saturated solution, and we have to remember that for a saturated solution we have to define that at what temperature and what pressure we have shown the saturated solution. Now what is unsaturated solution? The solution is one in which more solute can be dissolved without changing the temperature, in which more quantity of add can be dissolved, that is known as unsaturated solution. Okay, now coming on to the process of solubility of a solid in a liquid. So what is the process for the dissolution or for the solubility of a solid in a liquid? When a solid solute is added continuously in a solvent, the solute keeps on dissolving and the concentration of the solution increases. So whenever we add salt in a solution or any solid in a solution continuously, when we dissolve it, so its concentration get increased. Some solute particle in a solution gets separated out of the solution, that is known as crystallization. Which comes out of the solution is known as crystallization. A stage occurs where dissolution and crystallization process occur at the same rate. At this stage, number of solute particles going into the solution will be equal to the solute particles separated out, and it can be called at that stage of dynamic equilibrium. Already I defined that at a particular stage what happen, whatever amount of solute get dissolved, same quantity gets crystallized out. That stage is known as dynamic equilibrium. A equilibrium has no more solute can be dissolved and a saturated solution is obtained at given condition of temperature and pressure. Okay. Now moving on to the next topic, that is what are the factors which actually affects the solubility of a solid in a liquid. So देख लेते हैं इसमें कौन कौन से factors हैं basically जो हमारा solubility of a solid पे impact करता है. So the first is nature of a solute and the solvent. What kind of a solute is and what kind, whether it is a polar or it is a non-polar, and the nature of the solvent, it is a polar solvent or non-polar solvent, it is an aqueous solvent or non-aqueous solvent. Second one is effect of a temperature. Here we have to study about the Le Chatelier principle. Very important. Le Chatelier principle क्या होता है इसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे हम. So first we start with the nature of solute and the solvent. This can be understood by saying like dissolves like. It means that polar ionic compounds. Always remember one thing बच्चों, that ionic compounds like NaCl is always highly soluble in water, whereas covalent compounds जैसे कि हमारे यहाँ पे हमने examples दिए हुए covalent compounds के, those compounds which are covalent compound और organic compound जैसे कि हमारा benzene हो गया, जैसे कि हमारे other compounds हो गए, which are actually insoluble in water. So always remember one thing, जो ionic compounds होते हैं वो water में soluble होते हैं और जो हमारे covalent compounds होते हैं वो हमारे organic solvents में dissolve होते हैं. तो covalent compounds are soluble in organic solvent like benzene, like ether, like ethyl acetate, ester solvents. Okay. So पढ़ लेते हैं क्या लिखा हुआ है इसमें. It means that polar ionic compounds like NaCl dissolve in polar solvent like water and almost insoluble in non-polar solvent like benzene, carbon tetrachloride. Similarly, non-polar, that is your covalent or organic compounds like naphthalene are soluble in, naphthalene ले सकते हैं, anthracene ले सकते हैं. These are some covalent compounds which are soluble in non-polar solvent like benzene and ether and are less soluble in polar solvent like water. So solubility is generally a result of three kind of interparticle interaction, that is solute-solute, solute and solvent, and solvent-solvent interaction. So well defined, very important. Always keep it in your mind. Very important point here I have given, that is the solubility of a covalent compounds and solubility of your polar ionic compounds. Okay. Now moving on to the next topic, that is effect of temperature. Temperature has a very good impact on the dissolution part or on the solubility. The solubility of a solid in a liquid is significantly affected by the temperature. In a nearly saturated solution, the dissolution process is endothermic, that is delta H is greater than 0. The solubility should increase with rise in temperature, and it is exothermic, that is the delta H should be less than 0. The solubility should decrease in accordance with the Le Chatelier's principle. Le Chatelier principle क्या कहता है? The condition will move so that the equilibrium can be attained. Okay. Now moving on to the next, that is factors affecting the solubility of a gas in a liquid. So first is nature of a gas and the liquid solvent. Solubility of different gases in same solvent varies. Example, gases like hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. These dissolve in water to small extent, whereas the gases like ammonia, HCl, sulfur dioxide are highly soluble in water. So these are the factors. First factor I have defined it. Factors affecting the solubility of gases in liquid. Okay. Next one is the effect of temperature. So the solubility of gases decreases with increase in temperature. This is because when a gaseous solution is heated, the molecular motion of a gaseous particle increases As a result, some molecule escape out of a solution. So dissolution of a gases in liquid is an exothermic process. So heat is evolved. Applying the Le Chatelier principle, with increase of temperature solubility should decrease. Okay. So what happen normally, मैं आप लोगों को बताऊं, एक क्वेश्चन भी आया हुआ है बोर्ड एग्जाम में, that when we increase the temperature of a water, fishes generally does not comfortable in a hot water. This is the reason, because whenever we increase the temperature, the dissolved gases get evaporated. So it will be difficult for the aquatic animals like fishes to survive in a water, in hot water. So this is the impact of effect of a temperature. Whenever we increase the temperature, gases removes out. Okay. So here I have written gas plus solvent, equilibrium, solution plus heat, equilibrium shifts towards the backward direction. Okay. Now coming on to the effect of pressure, solubility of a gas increases with increase in pressure. In this method, the gas is compressed over the liquid under high pressure, hence the solubility get increased. Here I have shown a diagram where two beakers, you can see on one beaker there is a more pressure, however in the second beaker there is a less pressure. So what I have tried to show, that on increasing the pressure, the solubility get increased, the concentration get increased of a solute in the solvent. So the effect of a pressure on solubility of a gas, the concentration of dissolved gases is proportional to the pressure. So solubility is directly proportional to the applied pressure. Okay. So what I have written over here, that lower part is the solution and upper part is a gaseous system at pressure P and temperature T. Assume this system to be in a state of a dynamic equilibrium. Under these conditions, rate of gaseous particle entering and leaving solutions phase is same. So the solubility of a gas will increase until a new equilibrium is reached, resulting in increase in pressure of a gas above the solution, and thus solubility increases. So in order to explain the effect of a pressure on solubility of gas, Henry has derived a relation. So Henry was a scientist who derived a relation regarding when we increase the pressure, there will be an increase in the solubility of gases, which we discuss in the next part. So I will make a complete video about the Henry's law, what is the significance of a Henry's law and what are the limitations of a Henry's law. So for this is the last topic we have discussed today, and in next topic we will discuss about the Henry's law. So thank you so much. Please do like, subscribe and share my video.